ahead, you naturally just get further and further ahead, whether it's through the map control, whether it's through taking the objectives like Roshan. So I guess it's a question of which one do you actually believe in then, in that case, Avery? Like watching that last game, do you believe in DogChamp being able to force this game late and their team fight? Or do you believe that Alpha once again is going to win that early game, but this time they're, because of the change in heroes, they're really going to lock things down better?
I think the early game looks decent for Alpha. The one lane I don't know is this Beast Clock. But in theory, like, wherever the Dazzle goes, he should be able to win that lane. And I think Lena just free farms mid. So in theory, the early game is solid as long as Beast gets something. I feel like I would rather have their lineup in this game, to be honest. I think there's a very high chance you just close out the map and it's very hard to come back. Dazzle can do a lot in the early game. Once the lanes start opening up, you can take over the jungle areas pretty easily with traps. And you have no cooldowns. You look at this Alpha lineup, the longest cooldown's Roar or something. Like, every time Chrono's down, it's just a free-for-all, you know? Like, you're just going in with... If you get the Blink Deso BKB on TA, she's an absolute monster this game. Not to mention, if you ever get the Shard Roshan, the silence from the traps is devastating for these DogChamp cores. So, I tend to favor them this game based on what I saw last. This is a much easier game for them to close the map out than I think they can get there.
Well, I have a life philosophy that I tend to believe in people growing and becoming better. And so I have faith in Alpha as well.
Oh, that's why you told me to retire,
from that game one. You know, sometimes being better is sometimes doing something different, you know?
That wasn't the
look
discussion
at you.
I remember.
You're a great caster, you know? Fantastic.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see whether or not Alpha is able to do what they're talking about, whether or not they're going to be able to lock down the map, whether or not they're going to win this lane right here, this top Clockwork Beastmaster lane against Undying. I'll just say that I'm be pretty happy if I was Bloody 9.
I'd be happy except for where this lane is. They got the cog block, so the cog blocks are really annoying because you can't force the Beast out of XP range. Pretty hard to force him out of CS here when he can just pull aggro into his tower, and then Clock gets the next wave pulled for free. So a nice way to play this lane, at least, to get monster something in this early game and try and dodge the Dirge. My favorite game of all time.
That is a fun little game. And now the question is, where does Dirge go? Does he keep the Beastmaster out, or does he contest the Clockwork for all that CS?
I would follow Beast. I think
you would follow Beast. You would give up a full lane.
Yeah, I don't care, because the thing is, you're gonna give up this wave to Clock, but you're gonna zone Beast off the entire wave.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, maybe Undying with Mangoes doesn't do it, but I think I would have gone Boots, and then you have the capability. Maybe with Mango build you can't, but from a theoretical perspective, I think denying Beast an entire wave of XP is insanely valuable. Who cares if Clock gets one? It's like
yeah.
And I think in theory you can do that with the right itemization and skill points or whatever. But I mean, whatever. If you want to trade, it's okay too. It's not terrible. My priority would be shutting down Beastmaster. I don't care what Clock does.
Sure. We did have our first blood in bottom lane. I mean, you said it, Daz, man. He's gonna win whatever lane he goes into, and you were very early on. I mean, Marcy was the scourge in pubs last patch, and you identified Dazzle as very early on as being one of the best heroes, not just for the patch, but specifically against Marcy. Why is that hero good against Marcy, though? I
mean, I always thought this hero was conceptually very good versus Marcy, even the old one. Just how the laning pans out. You destroy her level 1. Even the level 2 trade, I think Dazzle's one of the few heroes where if your carry gets disposed into a wave, you just heal bomb him and turn with poison. And it's very annoying for Marcy, who's a melee hero with no real escape. Like, once she commits in. I think it's a very annoying hero for Marcy to fight in general. I think even in the game, it's pretty annoying. You have this long-range save for whatever hero gets displaced, and then you can turn the fight. So I like
down with the tombstone, and Flea is actually kind of in an awkward spot. He's going to be able to kill the tomb, actually denied by Bloody 9. Well played, but Flea is definitely going to take a decent amount of damage on his way out.
Yep, 6 mangoes paying off. Gets him the kill, shuts down the beast. They still have this wave equilibrium though, so I don't think Monster's too sad about this. Like, this kill does not cost him a lot because it wasn't first blood, and
Run
Marcy
down
down
one,
again.
but the trade-off, they are going to be able to get Pingo in return. Nice tiling there from Italiano Gangster. And even pushes Rises off the lane a little bit. So, nicely done there. Our side lane's full of action. I want to check in mid lane real quick. 18-4 compared to 17-2. So RCY and our mid laner Soul for Alpha seem to be pretty even. Bottom lane going again. Rises tossed back in. They have the hammer on top to help burn through the refraction pretty quickly. And Rises actually turns around with the help of the Dazzle and the Melt Strike. Ooh, it's going to work. Dazzle's going to get a few more hits in, and Italiano, he may live, but he's not going to be happy for it. No regen really left for him whatsoever.
Gotta respect the priest.
Yeah, the Shadow Priest.
The priest in pink.
Why not the priest in purple? Because he's actually purple.
Is he purple? I thought
well,
he's pink.
No, he is pink, but he's dressed in purple.
Well, can't do anything about what the guy dresses in, man. I'm just, you know, I think of him as pink. I don't know. I'm colorblind probably. What do you want me to identify this? It's probably violet or some weird shade. Some color expert out there mad now. I'll call him the priest in pink. You can call him the priest in purple. We'll meet somewhere in the middle.
Seems like all around the lanes are pretty even. Like, the kills are actually even, but it looks like the CS, I mean, Italiano Gangster was pushed back, but he just had a full wave go up underneath tower for him. He's almost level 5. Beastmaster isn't struggling, a little bit lower in experience, but still very happy, I would say, with everything he's getting out of a lane against an Undying.
No, I think he's chilling up here. Like, I think that death trade ended up being whatever. He didn't really miss anything, and it wasn't first blood, so he got the helm. Now he's pretty high level. Flea gave him a lot of XP here. Like, Flea just got to level 3, but Monster's on his way to level 5, which is the big timing versus Faceless Void. If you can get the 5 on Beast before Void gets to his 5-6 area, you're going to pressure him really hard with these level 3 boards. They don't have an answer to them. A lot of explosive potential for this Beast lane, actually. I think Alpha's having another, not as stompy an early game as last game, but I think they're actually doing quite well on all 3 for what their lineup wants to have happen here.
Yeah. Well, big change. The game is coming up. The 6-minute power runes, which Yarn is already in position, may actually try and go for the soul kill. Pingo is there to counter, though. Yarn jumps away. The arcane rune is picked up by RCY. Big pickup. He does get caught on the LSA. They actually really go for this one. The Laguna Blade thrown out, and they got it from the other side. Flea catches them inside of the cogs, gets the battery assault damage to finish him off. Really nice sandwich there from Alpha.
That's an insanely hard kill to get. Like, you have to land the stun LSA right on the edge. You have to get Laguna without him disjoining it. Hit the Dragon Slave still hit somehow, and then Flea in the perfect position after the Jaunt. Very well executed. He did get the rune, but he used it, so he doesn't even get to hold on to that.
Yeah.
Big contests shut this puck down a lot. He also brought the supports off the lane, which meant side lane's freed up for Alpha. So they're going to try and kill this Beast with the Marcy TP. He'll go down.
Tombstone dropped. Monster surrounded by too many things. They're going to go for the +1 kill on the Flea, but he's a little bit too fast thanks to his boots, and actually has the full Tranquil boots ready to go. He's just locked it for now, so he can put it on whenever he needs to.
Save those booties for later.
Yeah. Also, Italiano Gangster, because of this rotating that's happening from the Marcy, he's been given some solo experience and is now level 6. So look for that next combo of Coil and Dawnbreaker's ultimate Solo Guardian.
Or Chrono. They're still looking top.
They really are. Toss back, dispose into the Dawnbreaker is a really nice combination. Any repositioning.
3-man.
Oh my god. A 3-man cogs into a 3-man LSA, but apparently it doesn't matter. Tibu just goes right on top of Lina, even chronoing his own team. He throws out the Laguna Blade to be able to get the Marcy kill. Bloody Nine's a little bit low and underneath tower as well. He's just gonna die to these shots. And they didn't have any mana left. Italiano Gangster was totally out there, and he was the only one not in the Chronosphere.
RCY, the flank. Gets them
Coil
both.
and the orbit lands. Soul gets run over by the orb, and now they're going to be able to maybe kill Flea underneath all of this. He doesn't really have anywhere to run as long as the orb is on point. Flea.
Slow one.
Dude, it's so slow, but
Alright,
it
he just
clips
tanked
him.
it.
All right.
All right.
And I don't know what I think Italiano Gangster was trying to suicide to the tier 2.
Yeah, he just
And then
suicides.
Monster just met him halfway. It was like, oh, hey, thanks for the kill.
Yeah, he'll take the XP. He has roar up now.
Yeah, he does.
Thinking about that roar, but I mean, that's a decent exchange for DogChamp. They were the aggressors on this beast, which always feels good before he has ult or can push you out. He didn't have Dom yet. He didn't have level 6. So they get to use all their ults, kill him, you know, basically twice in that whole sequence. He has 3 deaths now. It's going to push his momentum back a lot. Whereas that was supposed to be the pressure lane where he's kicking the void out. So big moves, the right area to do it in. Good identification from DogChamp here, and yeah, some kills off the back for RCY. That was a sick LSA though. A cog and a 3-man LSA into 4-man chrono on your own team.
Yeah. Now, the question is, do you think Beastmaster, do you go back to top lane? Or do you just be like, okay, did a good job, you killed him once, now he's got a Helmet Dom, now he's level 7, now you just abandon top lane?
No, you have to go back. I mean, you have to go back anyway, but I think you especially go back because there's no ults now. So in theory, they should not be able to threaten you. And this is the whole point of the matchup. If you can't run Void off this lane and start taking over the map, then you're going to lose anyway. So just do it. And yeah,
so sorry, I meant the other way around. DogChamp abandons top lane now, right?
Yeah, it depends how strong you think you are. Like, you can be happy with how much you slowed him down. You can also just try and devote even more heroes. I could see them... They would probably need Undying +1 plus the Donald coming in to defend it again. Probably too much.
Yeah, basically it requires like an overwhelming amount of power to fight into the Beastmaster anymore, right?
Yeah, it's just a question of where the supports are too. Like, maybe if Alpha shows heroes other places, then it might not take as many. But you can just go for the trade. Like, you can trade the map, get the tower with your overwhelming numbers, and then when Beast invades your jungle, you just smoke and kill in there. Yeah. They're just gonna kill him mid.
Solar Guardian. Coil, they didn't actually get the stun follow-up, but Italiano Gangster can still hit the stun. The Starbreaker stun hits onto Soul, but they have no follow-up damage off of that. They've already blown all their spells. They didn't land enough of them. And Alpha just tanked through it all. Nice hook in from Flea, thanks to that Hawk that was sitting on the high ground here. RCY, he's got a small jump, another orb, another phase shift, and it looks like he is going to be able to get away. But Bloody Nine, who's trying to help out RCY, may be caught up in this battery assault, the damage from the Lina. A little bit more, but out of spells. So still going back in and taking this mid tower, that's a big win for Alpha.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can fight this beast on his way to the next objective, which would have been jungle or mid. That was not the way to do it, and it's going to cost him a lot here. You're giving the beast back all the momentum in the world. You used another Donald that was unsuccessful, ends up getting you killed. Maybe the one saving grace is Faceless Void got to Midas, and he's pumping it out in the jungle. That's about it. This is the acceleration Alpha can do in this game. Every time these ults are down, you don't even have the Undying ult yet. You just run at them. There's not much counterplay until they get at least like the first set of items.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if how different things would have been if that Solar Guardian was maybe positioned just a little bit more centered on that coil.
Yeah.
Ooh, RCY. Hook shot, but at the same time, Soul
call.
is caught by the LSA, and they're going to go for Soul instead with the Chronosphere on it too. Nice setup. It catches the Dazzle. So now Shallow Grave to be able to bail out Soul, and yeah, DD Rune, why not?
Well, thank you, Sir Gabe. I will collect that. Chrono for the Rune, you don't see that all the time, but happy to pick it up. You can finish off a couple kills. Big fight for them.
Yeah, even used his hand of Midas to kill the Helmet Dom creep from Monster, so he got a lot out of that. 3 kills, a couple of creeps, good amount of farm.
And it's just off the map. Like, every time you use these cooldowns, you have to get something out of them because Alpha's going to come back and run at you. Well, that's a huge win for them. So much for this Faceless Void. Slowing down the Alpha game progression, which is heading towards this Roshan soon with the Desolator. 1,000 off for Rises. I don't know, I can't help but feel like Alpha just walking into these in a way. Just kind of giving it to him in the random river area. Very awkward.
Yeah. It is giving a fair amount of time and space to Rises, who really hasn't joined in on many of these fights. He's going to be going for the Rush Deso, no Blink Dagger first. And That does mean that if Alpha does get a decent hold of this part of the map, which, I mean, Beastmaster Radiant side and having a Roche Taker is a nice combination, right? Beastmaster naturally takes over this Radiant jungle area, and that just means you always have control of the Roshan pit.
Yes, they want to do it very early. When the Deso hits, they want to be able to do it right away. It's just they're not getting much in the meantime. Like, they're not kicking DogChamp out of their jungle. They're not taking over the map. It feels like last game. It's just not establishing the zones of control. Instead, they're the ones feeding kills away. Remember, this is when Chrono's down. This is supposed to be your window on the map, where your Dazzle and Clock can invade areas with the backup of Beast and Summons and TA traps. This feels pretty bad for Alpha right now.
Yeah, they're just kind of getting outnumbered. DogChamp doing a good job holding their areas of the map.
An eternity of
And as a result, the Deso may be complete in about 30 seconds, but ooh, hook shot off the mark yard. Not gonna get caught by Flea today.
Even more time wasted. All right, they got to do something with this Beast Deso timing. Like, combining the Beast Helm of the Overlord with this Desolator. Deso is up. He's a little ways away on Helm of the Overlord. But I think you got to get something done here soon. Start progressing the game, taking over jungle, taking over Roshan. Not feeding kills.
Yeah, Flea's doing a lot of that lately.
And Chrono's
He's
back
just
up now.
Not expecting so many heroes to be in that jungle area, but Pingu trying to help out the Clockwork. It's going to get run down as well. The Chronosphere going to lock down the two of them with the Tombstone in range. That's going to stack up zombies on Arises. He's going to get bursted pretty easily. Soul shows up,
Maelstrom.
and he's got to leave immediately.
I mean, are they thinking about Roche here? I don't know if you have the damage, boys.
Yeah,
punch
it's
it.
kind of hard.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need it. Like, even if Alpha get it at this point, it's not even going to feel good because they are just falling way too far behind. Void has been given the world. 6-0 and 8. Midas online. Maelstrom online. Just farming up everything. No pressure from this beast. Just have not felt his impact at all. This is a rough spot for Alpha. Not the game plan they wanted. That was their Deso timing too.
Dire are scanning.
RCY snatches away the illusion rune. They have the Solar Guardian coming in just to make sure RCY, no chance of him being bursted down, and RCY will actually be able to run down the Clockwork because he's got the Witchblade, so he's got plenty of extra damage. Nice pickup on the other side of the map, though. What a combo. Getting the Marcy and the Faceless Void straight into the Roshan pit. I mean, this is how you can turn the game around for Alpha.
And they actually had the backup for these supports this time.
Yeah.
And Faceless Void biting off more than he can chew. Jumps into that Desolator, which destroys him right now. That'll be... Oh, RCY? You monster!
He snatched it away. The Aegis picked up just in time. He's going to lose his life immediately, but still, Italiano Gangster coming in, almost one-shotting Pingu. With the Tombstone out, he's going to coil next to that Tombstone. Really nice. The zombies are beginning to stack up now. Italiano Gangster's going to come through with the hammer. Rises is dangerous to fight up against, though. Got to be careful of that one. Meanwhile, RCY is still terrorizing the back line. Is going to jump back into play. Go for the kill on Rises, but Rises being set up for these Desolator hits. Now with a hook shot, cutting them all off. The supports are just free for Rises. Free for the taking. 13-16. A nasty Roshan fight goes around. And it ends up kind of being bad for DogChamp, even though they're the ones who stole the Aegis.
They're definitely not super happy with that outcome, and just how much TA gets to clean up there and get the extra Deso charges. I mean, they do mean a lot. They do add up. At the same time, that was not an Aegis you ever should have gotten in that position, so no. Pretty happy with that. I mean, you're going to take it away from them. You're going to take away the feeling of the momentum. Radiant does get the Roshan kill, but I don't know, what a weird exchange. I mean, it's probably fine for DogChamp, honestly. Getting the Aegis there is pretty big. Even some extra kills on top. Again, that was not your period where you had Chrono up. Now you have Chrono up, and you don't have to fight into the Aegis. So that's super big for this hero and his spell. Once more, DogChamp looking to control their jungle.
Yeah, they really don't let this go easily. Hook shot. Catches the Dawnbreaker with all the creeps next to him as well. Starbreaker won't be utilized at all. Flea's gonna die inside of all of this. Italiano Gangster is totally fine, and Monster, well, not much he can do either. Soul,
They burst the
that's
Void?
BKB. He turns around, does manage to get the Faceless Void. The last shot he threw before the Chronosphere kills him. Monster inside of the Chronosphere, susceptible to RCY. Italiano Gangster comes in for the finish. The Starbreaker to kill the Beastmaster. Now to stun the Rises. As he turns around, he has nowhere to run to. Not with this zombie on the front lines of Bloody Nine, slowing everybody down. Soul, he'll be able to walk away, but DogChamp, they may have lost their Faceless Void ever so barely, but a 1-for-4 exchange has got to feel great.
No, they're super happy about that. I mean, especially since that fight got dragged away from the Tombstone. That's kind of where it's dangerous for you. Your Void gets bursted, but there's just too much sustain out of this Undying. Marcy's getting multiple spells off. Alpha's lineup is very single target focused. They have to bring a target down at a time. If they start losing heroes, all that firepower decreases. Suddenly the Soul Rips and Locket already up start to make a huge difference. Very awkward engagement for them. Again, just you're like roaring a Marcy and running away. Your TA is not even there. Just super disjointed. Not a cohesive team fight at all, which is what their lineup needs, because their lineup only functions if the cores get to hit each other with the others around them. You're synchronizing your roar with your TA going in. You're synchronizing your clock hookshot with Lena being around for an LSA. These things don't happen. The team fight's just way too chaotic for their lineup to pull out in the long run.
Besides the individual play of Alpha, would you say the big picture is also looking pretty decent for DogChamp? I mean, Alpha is the one taking a tier 2 right now, but the net worth is even, and DogChamp are the ones who have that big late game we talked about.
I still think there's a window here where Alpha can take over the map, but it is decreasing. Like, the amount of net worth this Puck and Void got out of this early game is pretty bonkers. I mean, RCY is a full Kaya, Arcane Rune on top of it, level 15. This Void has Yasha going into Manta, level 13, almost 14. Like, they are very well set up to stall this game into the point where they will take it over.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to the vision. How much of this vision can Alpha use in the next 5 to 10 minutes here to really gain a hard edge? Knock these scores down a bit. Flea, he's in.
Well, Alpha, they seem to be trying to go keep up the balls to the wall approach. We went from tier 2 top to now trying to force this fight in the triangle area. A little awkward around the Tombstone. Fleet's
he got roared on
They
Puck.
do manage to get the roar onto the Puck. They do have the big stun coming out, but it's not enough. It doesn't save the Puck in time. The Laguna Blade overwhelms him still, though. They get the Beastmaster in return. Rice is pretty dangerous to fight. He challenged Yaren to a duel. Almost got the kill as a result. Still, though, he killed not just the Beastmaster, but managed to kill his whole army, too. So it's actually pretty hefty net worth bump there for Tibu.
Yeah, they feel very good about that. I mean, the Void got the kill on the big dragon too, so that's 250 extra in his pocket. I mean, it's just, I don't know, these initiations they're just so weird. Like, yeah, you hook in, you call a guy back, but then Tombstone gets dropped, and does your team just want to run into it? I think it's hard to reach here. I think Flea has to play a bit more conservative, which, I mean, I say that. It's not always the easiest thing to do on a clock, especially when you don't see everybody, but you should be able to see a lot, and then you should be able to pick the right target, go in as a team and burst him. You have Blink on TA, you have the Roar and the Summons to go in, and you have this Grave to bail out somebody in a Chrono.
I get the Orchid build against Puck, but I feel like he would have enjoyed a Force Staff a whole lot more, just because so often he's out there so far forward and he doesn't have a way out. Like in that last situation, he jumps in, Tombstone's dropped. He doesn't have an easy way to disengage. He ended up just trying to hit the Tombstone to absolutely no avail.
I mean, the Orchid helps commit to the fight, though. Let's say he hooks Undying, he Orchids Undying. That's pretty nice, right? He Orchid this Puck, he has no Dispel. I mean, he has an Illusion Rune, but normally he doesn't. It is a good Orchid game. I don't know, if you hook in and you force out, I feel like you're still getting coiled or something. I could see the idea. Maybe it would work. I think Orchid can also work here, and I think the upside's higher. Like, if the Orchid pays off, he's going to feel really good about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, he's struggling to get to it, so...
The Orchid will look and feel good if the team just kind of gets on the same initiation page, right?
Yes. Which hasn't been the case, so... maybe you can make an argument there, but if they don't get on the same page soon, it's probably not going to get much better anyway.
Well, you got to play for the best, right? You got to expect good moves out of your team, not bad moves.
And 5-man smoke, time to get on the same page. They have high ground ward.
See if they hit this. The hook shot misses. Bloody 9.
That was the target too, the dirge.
Big team fighter.
Man, these jumps just not going Alpha's way, man. Oh, he has a little rumble hide.
Yeah, I saw that. He wants the War Drums aura, I guess. I mean, more attack speed is not a bad idea for Lina TA and going up against a Tombstone.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't think the accuracy does anything, but yeah, if you kill Tomb off it, or you, I mean, you get to stack it with the Inner Beast. Sounds pretty good. Just looks funny though.
Well, let's not judge based on looks there, Avery.
I wasn't saying that, man. I'm just saying, like, why does this thing look the same size as the board? I feel like it should be bigger.
It's kind of small. For a
It's like
giant
an optical
lizard,
illusion. It looks so big in the ancient camp, and then I'm watching it run around. It's like smaller than a golem or something. This thing it's like a little dog.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom
Well, you know, he's been domesticized. That's what happened to dogs, you know? They once upon a time, they were giant wolves, and
True.
now they're little dogs, and that's what has become of this Rumblehide.
Who knew Beastmaster was just a man of
top tower
the earth, domesticating the beast. I guess he is the Beastmaster. That makes sense.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, exactly. All right, well, we're just kind of waiting on the next Roshan because Alpha have hit a pretty big peak. You got the 3-item peak on TA, Deso, Blink Dagger,
Yep.
BKB.
But again, in fight, he's not there.
An opening, maybe they could still catch something, but it's going to take a lot from Flea. Throws out the cogs, but Rise is sitting on the side here waiting for his opportunity to jump in, and he doesn't see it.
So awkward.
His whole team is dying, and he's just not really able to get in there at all. He pokes at the Undying, but that's it. That's all he did for the entire fight. The big damage dealer, the big guy, the big Kahona. You know, he's supposed to be the #1 hero in this game, and he did, what, 600 damage to an Undying?
I don't know, man. This team is just not on the same page. Like, Rises isn't even there. He ends up BKBing after that. I don't know, misclick or what. I mean, how your lineup has to jump together, and you have to use the vision to give you the good jump. With numbers advantage or picking the right target, like something
Oh,
like
look at Rises. That was a
something.
cute little play. Yeah, I mean, he knows they're in desperation mode at this point. They were supposed to be the ones getting that Roshan and taking over the game. And instead, they lost the team fight, lost the Roshan, and the game is very rapidly spiraling out of control.
Yeah, now this game is very hard. This is not a lineup you want to be losing Roshans with. The team fights are going to only become harder at this point. I mean, Bloody Knight has a full mech on top of the locket. The extra sustain, even just some small armor, makes a big difference here when we're talking about high HP totals. It is an uphill battle. Uphill battle into the Tombstone sitting on top of the hill.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing here. BKB soon for Yaren. Once again, he seems to like the, Primal Beast, now the Marcy, just the heroes that are able to rush BKB first item as support. Just go in.
It's interesting. I mean, those are probably the two best to do it. For sure. You're super tanky naturally. You do a crap ton of damage. And Marcy has 3.6 strength gain. Like, this is a tanky hero. You end up with around 2,000 HP when you get to this BKB, and of course, Unleash plus Sidekick, you can trade with most heroes. Very obnoxious.
Isn't that close to the same as Centaur's strength game now? Post nerf?
It might be the same, yeah.
That is.
No. Centaur's 4.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah,
I
he's
thought he
still
was
4.
below 4 now after the nerf.
No, they just made Primal Beast #1 so he can talk about it down at the pub, you know.
Yeah.
Dire's courier has been
He's a braggart for sure. That's why he carries all those trophies around.
100%.
15 to 25, 6,000 net worth lead for DogChamp. Not only are they up a game in this series, but they're feeling really good about the position in this game too. They naturally can just kind of sit back and farm. They're the ones with the better late game. They don't need to be forcing anything, though they probably will sometime in the next 2 minutes with this Aegis.
I mean, maybe you can rat the map out with TA, and you just go ultra late. Because ultra late, nobody knows who really wins anymore in any game. And, like, there's a point where, you know, Lina beats TA. At some point, these heroes become very obnoxious in their own right. It's a lot of super long-range damage you have to get through vision to get to. It can become very awkward for Void. But we're talking an ultra late scenario. You also have this Dawnbreaker who's basically just go and carry items. You know, he has Blink, he has Shard, he has Deso, go and Basher. He is going to smash somebody he's sculling, and he's looking for here.
Gonna go for Monster. Monster turns around, defends himself with the Roar. He does not have a TP. Did they know that? Seems like Yaren. Maybe he made the call.
He's out.
Monster's out.
I mean, their lineup is good at split pushing the map. It's one of the other benefits of Vision. Like, hooked his own... Dude, what?
Hit the Beastmaster.
This is the weirdest chase.
Okay, we'll use the Chronosphere to kill the Beastmaster, and they can, are they totally set the clockwork? No, Yarn's after him. Yarn will chase him down. Oh, the Starbreaker, perfect timing there from Italiano Gangster, who, after that little fight, has a Basher coming out to him as well as the Cloak of Flame. So this Dawnbreaker is very, very tough to kill.
Yeah, he is... He's getting the late game damage territory as well. I mean, if you blink Starbreaker or Lina or something, you're in a Destroyer. Not a huge amount of armor on this alpha lineup. Only TA is really tanky, and you have the Grave and some Juju procs, I guess. That's about it. I don't know, if you're relying on Juju for the armor differential, you're probably in trouble.
Yeah, a little bit.
Void TPing bottom, trying to set up here.
Without the Chrono, I guess just because he has an Aegis, he wants to force it no matter what. Almost caught the TA. Still, the long jump. Oh, what a hit from Yaren.
Wait, they didn't see him?
He didn't actually see him, but he did cancel that TP. Rice is now invisible, so they actually don't know that they did catch Rises. He was just on the other side of the trees.
What kind of tree is this, man? This is like the biggest tree of all time? Is a Whomping Willow over here? What kind of...
Yeah, one of those redwoods, you know?
Alright, I mean, he's stuck here. He's stuck here for a while. Not too happy about it. They do get a gem on this puck as well. Bloody 9 bought it. Benefit of being super rich in this game. This is one way to kill the Vision. So Puck's just going to be able to run around with bots and gem and kill the traps, kill the Hawks. Suddenly the map control isn't as consistent. Rises still admiring the landscape. Listening to the brook.
I thought he would have cut the wave, but no, he's just chilling there. Why does that little where is this waterfall coming from? Never mind. We got a chase coming on. RCY. he can coil if he wants, kill Pingu, or he could just chase him down. That's the thing. This Witchblade gives you so much extra power. Being able to chase heroes down, more damage.
That's what witches do. They're good at
it. Yeah. Is that what they do? It's in
I don't know,
their
isn't
job description.
That's probably in the lore somewhere, you know? I mean, they run around, they chase you down, and do witch things. I don't know, man. I didn't read these books as a kid. What do you want me to say? Stabbing in the dark.
What books did you read?
Like Russian lit or something, man. Messed me up.
My man's out here reading Dostoevsky as a fucking 8-year-old, you know?
Yeah, I did. I didn't know what was happening.
If we could reference that every once in a while in our cast.
Yeah, I had to read it years later, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But at the time, I mean, I didn't know what the hell's happening. But
yeah.
He sounded smart, you know.
13,000 net worth lead for DogChamp. We're just kind of like hanging out, waiting for Alpha to like make a big move that can potentially get them back. Like maybe this. No.
Juke it. Okay, son. You win that time.
Well, simple blink away from Italiano Gangster ruins all of Alpha's hopes. Is that, I mean, a pickoff like that certainly would have been like one of those, okay, let's get back into the groove here because there's no Aegis on the Faceless Void. So he does have a double damage bottle.
I mean, he has double damage. He got Scotty just delivered. He has his level 20 talent. He is in late game Void Town. Not a lot beats him at this point. There's no saves for the Chrono, really. I mean, okay, you grave a guy, he's going to come out with 0 HP. You know, condolences. And it's getting rough. It's getting very rough. Next, Roshan probably decides the game. Alpha probably need to find a pickoff before then to be able to contest it. I don't think they can just 5-on-5 anymore. Looks like Pingu's in trouble.
Oh, he found him.
Goodbye.
Hunted him down like a goddamn bloodhound. Sniffed him out in the trees. They're going to catch up to Soul here, who's going to have to use his BKB. That's good enough. BKB used. Bloody Knight instantly undoing the Laguna Plate damage. Here comes Tibu, though. Now with the BKB on cooldown. Soul's got to be careful. He did not respect that. I don't know why he was fighting back. There was nobody alive on his team.
I mean, he wants to get something out of this Daedalus pickup with the BKB duration, but yeah, I mean, this game is just out of control. It's out of control. It's been out of control for a while. DogChamp just outplayed him in this series. I don't think there's any way around it. Like, Alpha had the lineups and the heroes where they can snowball the games, but if you don't execute those, you just go late game versus these massive teamfight scaled lineups. You're gonna be pretty sad.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, the Scythe pickup. I was going to say Rises isn't going to hit a Power Spike until he gets level 25. I thought, you know, like maybe he goes the Bash talent and maybe he can pick off the puck, but instead he actually completed a Scythe of Ice, so he does have the lockdown.
Yeah, maybe try and burst the Void or burst the puck. You're gonna have to do it through a Soul Rip, but lock it in a mech. They got the puck.
Orchid on the puck. No follow-up, though. He got into the trees and danced away, and now the Chronosphere is going to be able to lock down the two cores. It is indeed looking pretty over. The Beastmaster is going to die first. Rice is quick to follow. Pingu will die beneath the tier 3, and most of them do not have buyback. And even if they did, it's still DogChamp. They're down for this game to go another 20 minutes. They don't have a problem with this. They love their late game.
Yeah, I mean, even Puck up to the strength blink, cruising to the late game. Chronos in the Tombstone, just too much for them to team fight into. I don't know, they never got the snowball going. Didn't really find any pickoffs, didn't find the jungle control. They had the one good mid-tower push, but that was about it. I don't know, it felt like the same story both games.
Yeah, it kind of did. I should not have believed in change and improvement. It's human nature. We should all know humans just stay the same.
Yep, that's my philosophy. So I am rewarded. I am rewarded for doubt yet again, and I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy that Cap's nurturing, benevolent disposition has betrayed him.
Nurturing, benevolent disposition. Hook shot, flee. Oh, they actually had the Dazzle Shard.
Nice force.
Stunned some people up. Didn't really do a whole lot, though, because Soul just wasn't able to get any damage done. Yarn just jumped on top of him, went to work with the Basher, rises. He shows up a little bit too late to the fight, as has been the story of this game the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's Rise's fault, but I'm saying him and the rest of the
it's
team were
been
not
disjointed.
coordinated.
It's been disjointed for sure. Like both games, it's just the initiation and the damage fall was not on the same page. There's no other way about it. DogChamp will take advantage of it though and keep the run alive here in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
So not out of it yet. Even with a stand-in, these stand-in teams looking scary. They get a chance to play wild card. So stand-in against stand-in.
Yeah, that is going to be an interesting matchup.